Ready? Very good. We will call the Properties, Environment, and Economic Development Committee to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Beggs?
Here.
Mr. McCormick?
Here.
Mr. Hardy?
Here.
Mr. Erickson?
Here.
Mr. Walker?
Here.
Approval of the minutes of November 13, 2025.
I'll make a motion to approve the minute.
Support, Walker.
It's been moved by Joel, supported by Walker. We approve the minutes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried. Would there be any changes to our agenda? Any additions, corrections, or changes to the agenda? Hearing none, we'll seek an approval for the agenda as written.
I'll make that motion, Hardy.
I'll support.
Moved by Hardy, supported by Beggs. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Public comment. Would there be any public comment at this time? Hearing none. Ms. Biard is not with us this morning. We have Jessica with us, and we're looking at the Michigan Department of Transportation Infrastructure Investments and Jobs Act agreement.
So the agreement that you see in front of you appears to be to acquire an easement for the approaches on runway 9. The total project is going to be $368,338, with a cost share from the federal government 95%, and the remainder to be paid by the state of Michigan. It just needs a board signature to authorize the agreement.
We need that airspace, huh?
Look pretty cut and dried.
Yep.
I mean, so the county's input or the local input 0.
Mm-hmm.
So the federal and the state pick it up.
Is that to the east or west?
It's west.
West.
For the tree line or whatever is right.
The sky above.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. South baseline over there behind Mark's old house. Very good. Department head report. Would there be any department head reports?
Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Sheriff.
Good morning, sir.
It's really all weather related this time of year for us. Our guys are chasing a lot of cars in the ditch, a lot of slide offs, that sort of thing. We're at full staff in the jail right now, and we have a young man attending academy. It just started this week, so we're moving forward in a couple different directions on that. We've got 47 in jail this morning, so things are kind of status quo right now. We do have a couple projects we're working on. We're the only agency as far as counties around this section of West Michigan that have not moved to an optic site, and we're exploring that option. We're looking for funding mechanisms to do that, so we hope to be able to bring that forward without having to weigh on general fund dollars. We think we have some revenues to.
Excuse me, I did not hear what side of.
Gun optics.
Pistol
optics. Yep. All the other agencies around us, as far as the counties around us, all have an optic on their weapon. Mr. Beggs can tell you what apparently it is a true game changer as far as the performance. The weapons the guys are handling. I know it seems like we just got those guns, but they're just about 10 years old. The Smith & Wesson guns that we're carrying right now have a lot of rounds gone through them. Still fine guns, but we're all bearing the old iron sights on them. And anyways, we're working on a project towards funding that, so we shouldn't have to be weighing on the general fund to help with that. Just giving you an update, we are working towards that. Undersheriff is just this morning working on the project. You probably have seen that there was a lot of community support towards getting AED devices in all of our patrol cars. Ryan's working on that right now about getting them all the same AED devices in all the patrol cars, and then having some other of the devices that are here in the building, either in our side of the building or this side of the building, upgraded to newer devices, newer AEDs around also, and having some trade-in value for some of the older ones. So we're working that project also. So just some of the things that are going on our side of the world. Any questions for me?
I'm smiling, Sheriff, because I remember when Mark Myers was here and talked about the new Stryker AEDs they were putting in their rigs, and they were $65,000 a unit. We're probably not gonna quite get to those.
No, we're not gonna go to that. No. But you know, the ones we do have, you know, we've had several life-saving experiences with them. They've been really nice. So the community really got behind that. You know, there's a couple of community members that really took it upon themselves to make this happen. That they wanted to see them in patrol cars, so they really helped us with funding that initiative as well.
Heather Halleck.
Yeah, Heather Halleck.
We had a beautiful article in the paper.
Yeah.
With Heather's efforts.
Yep.
And we've purchased a few IEDs at the fairgrounds, and I noticed that there's also a model that has oxygen within the case. Has that been discussed at all?
I don't know that.
Yeah,
so.
it's really neat. It's got a bottle comes right with it, and you carry it right with you. And
Yeah, so I'm not aware of it. I'm not aware of that.
yeah,
but-
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I really think the device that we're proceeding with is probably a little bit more basic than that one, but still all the same, to have them in all patrol cars would be a huge step forward for public safety.
Big time.
Yep. Any questions for me? Okay, all right.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Yep.
Any other department head reports? Hearing none, we will adjourn this meeting.
So, public comment.
Public
Oh,
comment.
any public comment? I think we're saving it for later. Okay. Meeting
You can't hear all
adjourned.
the time.
Okay, I'd like to call to order the Finance and Administration Committee. May we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Beggs?
Here.
Mr. McCormick?
Here.
Mr. Hardy?
You hear?
Mr. Erickson?
Here.
Mr. Walker?
Here.
I'd ask for approval of the meeting minutes from January 8th, 2026.
I'll make a motion to approve the minute.
Support.
Motion by McCormick, support by Walker. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried. Are there any changes to the agenda?
Mr. Hardy,
Yes.
if we may, can we switch the tax limitations and proposals from the court? I see Judge Fox is here, and I know he's probably in session today. So can we put him first and discuss that first?
Sure.
Thank you.
Anybody have any objections?
No.
Okay. Any other changes to the agenda? With those changes, I'll ask for approval of the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve as amended.
Motion by Beggs,
Support.
support by McCormick. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried. Is there any public comment at this time for Finance and Administration Committee? Hearing none, we'll move on. Court proposal pertaining to updated recording responsibilities 2026-12. Judge?
Thank you. I wasn't expecting to be here, but I understand Tracy's not, so I'm happy to fill in.
Thank you.
I don't know, have you read the memo that Tracy, that we sent to Tracy? Has that been part of your packet, so everybody's familiar with this? So I'll just give you the broad strokes. About a year ago, almost a year ago, Tanya brought to my attention that Terry Heacock, who has been doing our circuit court reporting and also family court, well, that's part of the circuit court too, reporting for a few years now, has expressed some inconsistencies about what her future plans are. So we tried to have a long-term plan, and we looked at our staff availability, and with a new hire that we brought on this last summer, there is some time available for others who would become court certified to record and report proceedings. We could accommodate and cover all of the necessary court hearings. So we put together a plan that did that. That in turn reduced Terry's amount of time, and thankfully Terry's very comfortable with the new situation, so that turned out great for her and for us. And the amount that we saved by reducing her hours and transferring those recording services that she was providing, that she's no longer doing, to others on our staff, we saved, it looks like $18,000. So when we did that, because the staff that are now going to be taking over Terry's responsibilities have more work under the step increases that we are operating with, it was suggested to Tracy, and Tracy indicated it would make sense for those persons to increase their step, because of they have further certification requirements. Some of them have had to get more education, and they just have more on their plate than they used to. So the memo that you have identifies the exact amounts, and I can have the I'm not sure, Jana, was this shared with everybody, the amount that the step increase would relate to? The total amount is less than half of what we saved, basically. So we're asking the board to approve a step increase for those individuals who would be taking on court reporting duties, which is consistent with the policy, is what I understand the policy to be. Any questions?
Any questions?
All right.
No,
Thank you very much. Yes.
Judge, thank you for looking at it,
Uh,
and thank and your staff. I'm sure the administrator had something to do with that too.
She had everything to do with it.
But thank you for doing it.
Appreciate
It makes sense to me.
taking time to come too.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Anytime I can help.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you again. You have anything to add, Tanya? Okay.
Thank you.
All right, moving on. Administrator Biardi isn't here, obviously. County Advisory Tax Limitations Committee 26-02.
Okay, so my understanding is this is to initiate the process to alter and extend the fixed separate tax limitations and create an advisory committee. So the current separate tax limitation was approved by voters in 2016. The board has authority to review and ask voters to alter or extend these millage limits. So the next step would be to have an advisory committee must be formed, consisting of members like the county treasurer, the finance committee chair, and a township supervisor and others. Once they're appointed, the committee must meet within 10 days to prepare the recommendations, and the recommendations must be adopted by the board before May 12th to appear on the August election ballot.
This is done every 10 years.
Yeah.
Every 10 years, so.
And I think after the board is set up, there's a 10-day time limit or something in there. Yeah. Yep. Anybody have any questions? If my understanding is right, that could be extended for another 10 years at the same rate, or they could add additional to that.
Mr. Hardy, I think the clerk could probably answer that question better than I can.
You know, the wording of the millages actually comes from the county attorney generally. And as far as I know, I've spoken to Tracy and she's sent it. I believe he's reviewed it.
Oh.
And changing those amounts,
Quite high.
it's committee related. Sometimes they lower them, but.
This is just to start the process.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions, comments? All right, Jessica, again, Council on Aging Resolution 26-03 for authorized signatures.
What, may I?
You go ahead, Mr.
When we had the electronic signatures and stuff, now everything for the Department of Transportation had to go through the electronic signatures, and sometimes on the tablets they kick them back out, and there are things that happen back and forth. We are allowed to have two people for the Department of Transportation who can sign these documents, either the chairman of the Board of Commissioners or the county administrator. And a lot of times we will get these things, as you know, that they have to be back to the state the same day or the day after.
Yep.
You know, we get them at the last minute. So Tracy asked me if I had any problem with setting it up so she can sign these, you know, when we get done with our meeting. She can just sign them and export them at the same time. I'm sure it's not gonna bother me any to have somebody else to sign them. I think it makes a lot of sense, somebody that's in the courthouse all the time, to have somebody who's here all the time. Then, on some of them that were paper documents, I don't have to run back and forth, you know, drive up here to sign the paperwork, see that.
All right, any questions, comments? Again, Jessica, District Court appointee for Deputy Magistrate.
So District Court has decided that they wanted to promote a current employee that they have in their office to the Assistant Magistrate position. It's kind of filling your guys' request at budget time. And in doing that, they're also hiring their receiving clerk as of January 26th.
This was discussed at budget time, and at budget time, they had asked for another part-time person in the court.
Right.
In the court system, and we said, after you get a deputy magistrate. And now they want them, they have somebody who they feel as though, well, you know, can handle the job, you know, as a deputy
Right.
magistrate very well. So they want to do that, and then they have another person they want to bring in for that too.
Right.
Do you mind?
No.
If I ask the sheriff what his opinion is on having a deputy magistrate?
I think it's a great idea to have more resources down there available to help, because there are some times when they're spread thin down there, and we have to wait, arraignments have to wait, are not necessarily done in as timely a fashion as you would like them to be, or when warrants have to be sworn to and signed, either arrest warrants or search warrants, and there's just, we have to refer back to, we have to chase down a judge or something, because there's not always a magistrate available. So this will be extremely helpful to several positions in my staff to help the process keep moving along.
Mr. Hardy?
Yes, Mr. Baker.
So I guess I'd just like to send a message loud and clear that to them, thank you for appointing or making this promotion. It's my hope now that with this position in place, that those concerns from our law enforcement officers will be relieved, and that there will be more flexibility and availability from the courts to get these issues, these warrants, all the things work smoother. So we have a person in place now. I hope it's utilized well and alleviates the issues that our local law enforcement is having with getting search warrants and arrest warrants dealt with in a timely manner. So.
Agreed.
Very well put, Mr. Beggs.
Agreed. Anybody else? All right, thank you. Moving on. Jessica, again, Administrator's review of selected claims for payments and Administrator report.
I guess you can see that they're both attached. I apologize that I'm not a little bit more up to speed on what's going on today. I kind of
That's okay.
kind of put under the gun a little
Thrown
bit.
into the fire?
So,
Yeah.
yeah, your claims for payment are there, as well as as the administrator's report for your review.
Anybody have any questions?
I'm glad to see that there has been a follow-up with Crystal Valley Dam, and they have you know, more information. They're moving forward with more information on that. I'm glad to see that we have a maintenance supervisor, you know, working now. Yesterday, I talked to Tracy on the GIS mapping. Joel chaired the department head meeting yesterday, and after the department head meeting, the person with the GIS system was here and sat down with what I refer to as the stakeholders.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not speaking for Tracy, but what she told me was it went very, very well. Did you sit in on that?
Yes, yeah, it was a very nice meeting, a very nice presentation.
And a couple of the things that Tracy told me that we are being charged for now, if there's maps done or something, there's a fee for that. And this new system, correct, that's part of the contract? And any other things that you can think of? When she said the system was easier to navigate through and stuff.
Yeah, it looks a lot cleaner. I guess the biggest thing, and I'm sure you all know that right now we currently don't own our maps. So the company that hosts them actually own them. So under this new system, we would actually have ownership of them. So if something were to happen, if that company went out of business, we still retain those maps. And
Good.
I know the only thing that Tracy kind of mentioned that might be coming in the future is some revisions to the plat lines. There might be some issues with the accuracy of those. As far as the system, it looked very user-friendly. He showed, it looked like the majority of the counties in Michigan actually utilize that system. And yeah, very user-friendly. Looks like a lot of our departments could probably get some use out of this.
So the stakeholders then kind of reviewed everything and
Yeah, we had the drain commissioner here, equalization was here, the sheriff's department was here, and the treasurer's office was there, and everybody seemed very happy about the way that it looked.
good.
May I ask?
Yes.
Do you think we can move forward with this system now based on the people having the opportunity to see it?
I think the only thing that they were going to check on, this company and this gentleman, he just wanted to double check that the BSNA cloud that we switched to and the system would communicate, you know, without any hitches. So he's just double checking on that, and he was going to report back and let us know. But other than that, yeah.
Hopefully it will.
He seemed to think that it would, but he was just speaking under the BSNA.net side that we used to have. He just wanted to verify that the same would be true for the cloud version.
I saw a system like this once before, worked at a dispatch center, and they hired this, they bought the system, but anytime any geo files had to be changed, it had to go back to the vendor that provided it, and they charged a fee every time they opened it up to put something in there. And, this one, I think that the people will be able to do the basics themselves, like the input at the equalization and the Register of Deeds office.
And I think that was a big one for everybody, that they wouldn't have to reach out to Beacon and have them make the changes, that they would make them on their desktop and it would just instantaneously change.
Perfect.
There, he's an expert, of course. Sam, his last name's a challenge, so I won't attempt that one, but the way he presented it looks kind of like a, you know, a word system. Like it would be easy for the average person to just go into the system and look for information. One of the interesting things he showed us on his presentation was the different layers, and so, you know, you could go in and open, and then there could be a page for parks, and if you clicked on parks, it would just show you the parks.
Oh.
And then he had,
That's nice.
like he said, you could put in, you know, I want a park with a stream, and then it's only going to show you a park with a stream. You know, you had different items that you could pick from. And so different agencies could do that. The drain commissioner could put in, you know, just a layer. If you're having flooding issues and you want to see the drain system, you could click on that and just look at the drain system without having all of the other clutter in the way, you know. The thing, and Jessica mentioned it, is the alignment issue that we have. They're off, and that, I believe, is a fair size ticket item.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
But I think we should fix that. It's just, we shouldn't be living with that alignment deal.
I can tell you, Joel, that 2 weeks ago when I went through my updates for my builder's license, the building official from Grand Haven Township is the one who teaches all of them, Scott Kern. You know, a lot of them are around West Michigan. He talked about the lines on the geophiles and everything, you know, on issuing permits and doing that, and it was, be cautious no matter where you're at.
Oh,
and it's not
absolutely.
just
Yeah.
Oceana County.
Right.
It is a big deal. I remember out in Otto Township when Nat and Craig was involved with this too. I remember in Otto Township when the Forest Service came to and did all of the surveys about on their property out there. Somebody's pole barn was right on Forest Service property. You know, but it wasn't on the geophiles. on the GIS files. So there's some things that you can get into with those, but it's not unique to us.
The other thing, one other item that he mentioned, which sounds really would be helpful, is if they're connected to our BSNA, when the treasurer or any agency makes an update, it's in there. You know, it's live.
Sure, live.
And now we're doing it like every 6 months.
Yeah.
Do you know, Joel or Jessica, do we pay per terminal for this system, or is it a?
He mentioned, what, a $700 fee?
Yeah, it sounds like you buy, you know, the initial program and then you can buy subsequent license, but he said to start, that $700 is probably all you would need that particular.
Well, the thing that I'm wondering, we just talked about this at our last meeting. I could see the value of having that system in our emergency management trailer when they go out, or at least access with a laptop. You know, if we have a natural disaster that you want to find out who all the property owners are, maybe there's a way. Your department, sheriff, they can get that over their computers in their
patrol cars, yes.
Yeah. But I just want to make sure that when we go forward, we still have that availability for emergency management and first responders.
Another item he mentioned as far as cost-wise that, you know, it could be overlooked. He said for people to be able to update the system, make changes, most likely, the way I understood, they're going to need training. And training with Sam or Spicer Group. He suggested just a by the hour thing. If somebody needs to get trained on it, you know, they'll contact him, he'll work with them, and it'll be by the hour. He said they could give us a proposal, but then they have to, you know, inflate it, and it'd be you know, if they did an annual thing, we might not even use it. So he just suggested, you know, doing it as a, you know, on a fee basis.
Is there any thought that if we get to the point that we want to have somebody that can make changes in there, that we control who and what department makes a change?
Yeah, he said they would be view only, and only certain people would have access.
Yeah, you know, that, and that decision
and I don't know if
should come from this board,
Yeah.
who's going to be doing it.
Yeah. Well, Anna
from Equalization.
Yeah, so she would be one that he said would do the parcel splits, and she said that would be very helpful for their office. It's cumbersome now the way they do it.
Okay.
And it's not always, it doesn't always get, sounds like it goes from her and it doesn't always get updated correctly. You know, there's typos in it, and so she said if she could do it directly, that would be a benefit.
I'm glad we took the time to give the department heads or the people that are involved the opportunity to look at it. If anybody, Jessica, if anybody has any serious reservations about it, your office is going to have to find out about them real quick, so we can get those questions asked.
The drain commissioner's already working with them on it, so, you know, they've been going back and forth, and he showed us some of the things that they've done already.
Okay.
Good.
But I think what I heard from the department heads, everybody was in favor of
Yeah,
the
I
change.
thought so too. Yeah, I thought it was all very positive.
Thank you, Joel. Thank you, Jessica.
Yeah, thanks. All right, any department head reports? Moving on, any public comment at this time for the Finance and Administration Committee?
Yes, sir.
Good morning. I'm
Morning.
Linda East, and I'm here in my role as the chair of the DHHS board and the Oceana County Medical Care Facility. Shortly after I joined the board, our administrator stepped down, and so I just wanted to walk you through a little bit of the process that we used. We now have an accepted candidate who has accepted our proposal for hire. we formed a search committee in order to be able to do this process. And then as part of the search committee, we also recorded the candidates that we brought in for interview. We recorded their presentations. Then we were able to, after we recorded those, we were able to invite the employees to either, if they did sit in on the interviews, they were able to review the recordings. And then thanks to Melanie in the county clerk's office, we put together a survey, and they were able to complete the survey for us. And roughly, I would say, a quarter to a third of the employees took the time to actually sit down and watch the surveys and to watch the proposals and look at the surveys. We had our final interviews this week on Tuesday. We had 2 excellent candidates that were among those. And one of the things that I was looking for specifically was long-term, somebody who's going to give long-term leadership to that position. We've had a lot of turnover in that position. And to that end, we selected Sally Traponis to fill that position. She's local, many of you may know her. And I think that that's a very good choice. The feedback that we got from the surveys was positive in that regard. And so I feel like we, as Mr. Walker said, we engaged the stakeholders, and I feel like we had good feedback. So I wanted to thank Tracy, who gave me some procedural, being new to the board, gave me some procedural guidelines to follow, and to Melanie, who helped us with our survey and was able to test out some new software for the county. And I wanted to let you know where we were at, and I wanted to thank you for the opportunity again for me to be able to serve on this board. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you. Any other department head reports? Or, I'm sorry, public comment? Hearing none, we will adjourn the Finance and Administration